Hey guys, this is Brokashi here doing a re-review to World's worst Hokages, I guess, to ever do their jobs, or just worst Hokages in general. Now we're not going to be talking about strength or skill-wise. We're talking about like the best at their job in terms of a Hokage. If we're going to talk about the first Hokage, I guess we're going to go in order. If we're talking about the first Hokage, his strength is definitely unmatched, but him and Naruto kind of follow the same kind of, I guess, this idealism of everyone get along and everything's gonna be super great, and it becomes like so much into that it's almost unreal and seems laughable, or it's just so far from reality. It's like, you gotta kind of settle down a bit and try to, really make things go, make it basically a real reality situation. That was my only gripe with Hashirama. He wanted a better world, we all do, but sometimes it was just he went beyond the realm of possibility. But skill-wise, definitely probably, yeah, the best Hokage hands down. I mean, taking on Madara and the Nine Tails is not an easy feat. It's just not. And to hold back while fighting Madara, well, that's saying a lot. Who do you know, especially in terms of Hokage, can hold back on Madara and give Madara a huge problem? So I have to place him as, one of the best Hokages ever. But I guess in his mind state, or in his, what he wanted, and I get he had a hard childhood, so the only thing you could do is think positive, or think positive about the future and what you can do. But again, it was so far beyond the realm of possibility, especially at that time. It was so much hate, so much animosity towards each other's clans. You just couldn't erase that overnight. So, but I won't place him as the worst Hokage. No, just far from it. Moving on is Tobirama. Now, people are gonna definitely, I guess, accuse him or say that he is the worst Hokage, and I get why. He is indeed a prejudiced prick. We get that, but he took after his father. He went to war. He lost brothers against, the Uchiha clan. So I don't know if you can just say it was completely prejudiced, but he did label him in a certain way, which is understandable, But prejudice, come on. At the end of the day, it's prejudice, and prejudice is just wrong. Everyone wanted to change, and everyone a new thing. If they didn't want that, then we wouldn't see people trying to join up and become one. And he just couldn't get past that. But then again, this is where I turn into where I'm like, I'm just indecisive because I get where he's coming from. And knowing the Uchiha history and what they're about, and just now learning this information about them, you can kind of understand where he's coming from. We get that. I mean, these are very emotional people. In fact, they draw power from all their emotions, whether it's love or hate. So they're just unstable in terms of human beings. So trying to, I guess, get along with that it's a hard thing of its own to really try to control or try to recommend. You just can't. So I get why he was uneased, but at the same time, he was just so standoffish. He didn't even give it a real chance. He already made up his mind that, this is just not a good idea, and it's not something I want. In fact, it's far from what I want. And if we're gonna do this, guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna place Uchiha like basically almost outside of the village. And it was just bad. It just reminded me of something that I did not want to see. Fucking Hitler shit. Anyway, moving on to the next Hokage, the third Hokage. Speaking of, there was just a lot of times where in the Naruto series when the third Hokage was referred to as a third person, someone would say, "Oh wow, in his prime, this guy was like a god. He was unmatched." Which I don't completely believe, but people say these things, and I don't know. Strength-wise, yeah, one of the best Hokages, definitely. Um, where did he fail at in his job? Um, I can't call that a fail. He went against Orochimaru, and he was far beyond his prime. So to go in there and, the odds are against you, and put on a hell of a fight like he did, I just can't say that he was horrible. I just can't. But then again, you look at the Hokages who died, I guess, in his time. Okay, you have the second Hokage who died to, I guess, to save these guys, Danzo and the third Hokage. So you look at it like that, and also the fourth Hokage died for him. So can you give him a minus or an X or something for that? Like take a star or a smiley face off? I don't know. I just can't say that he's one of the top, but he's definitely not one of the worst. Just not. Moving on, the fourth Hokage. Now, he's one of my personal favorites. If you listen to any of my videos, you would know that he's like hands down one of my top characters in Naruto. He was very young, and especially talking about Hokages, it seems like the great Hokages always died young. He was a legend in his time. In fact, he was the Yellow Flash, but we know his name as Minato, and I guess the minus that people want to give him, if you're going to talk about pros and cons, yes, he was a Flash, ninja, whatever you want to call him, teleport techniques, whatever you want to call him, I don't care. He was great at that, but where people give him I guess a down rate is the fact that he died fighting Toby and the Nine Tails. Now this is a comparison with Hashirama. People want to say, oh, Hashirama fucking took on the Nine Tails and Madara at the same time, so yes, he's the best, and Minato couldn't take Toby and look, I get that argument, but you have to take into account that skills make matchups. It wasn't that Hashirama was better, it was the fact that he was more equipped to do so with his, I guess his tree style, earth style, whatever you want to call it. He was better equipped to do so. His skills were best off for a guy like Madara and whatnot. But I still won't say Minato is better than Hashirama. I'm just trying to make that argument. We're going to make a fair argument for someone. But yeah, he died at a young age, trying to, I guess, save his son and get the village at the same time, which was his newborn son, Naruto. And I've heard this argument about, oh, you know what? That was stupid of him of, I guess putting that burden on Naruto and all that other stuff, but I don't see it hurting him at all. I mean, sure, he had a bad childhood, but look at him now. He's the top shinobi in the alliance right now. No one's stronger than him. So I guess Minato wasn't wrong, was he? But I can see the minuses and whatnot. So, but he's definitely not one of the worst Hokages. In fact, he was a noble Hokage with a good heart. So you can X him out. Now moving on, the fifth Hokage. People hate her. I get why they hate her, but she wasn't dealt a fair hand, man. It's just bad timing. I mean, when you're talking about the Akatsuki, who do you think would have done a better job at that? I think they would have been a problem for anyone. So for her to come in this seat as an Hokage at this time, it was just unfair. So you just can't really completely knock her down. But I guess that's the only minus you can give her, other than the fact that she wasn't as strong as any of the previous Hokages. But still, she wasn't bad. So people need to lay off of her, please. Yeah, I'm definitely just trying to stand up for the woman. But yeah, she's not bad, but she's not she's not great. Moving on. The fifth Hokage. Yeah, Danzo. I can see why people don't like him. I definitely don't like him. I'm one of those people in that list, and yeah, he's horrible. But anyways, he's bad, man. He's bad news. He had this idealism of what he wanted to do, and it just wasn't, I guess, the nice way of going about it. Yeah, we get what he was trying to do at the end. He thought it was like for the greater of the village, but come on, that's just, it's a pussy way out, and he's a dick, and I don't like him. But if we're talking about, hey, this guy he hasn't been Hokage long enough, he's only a Hokage for 5 minutes, we can't put him on that list, so erase him. And if we're going to do that, then I guess Tobirama would probably would be the worst Hokage. The fact that he was so prejudiced that we didn't really get a fair chance or he didn't give the Uchiha clan a fair chance, they could have proved him wrong. But he was just so fucking prejudiced that he just didn't want to see anything else. He already made up his mind about the Hokage. I mean, not the Hokage, but the Uchiha. He wiped his hands with them completely. But the only thing about it is it's a fair argument. I mean, as to why he was a prejudice towards the Uchiha, but you know, if you can't get past that, but Danzo, definitely one of the worst Hokages, and definitely Togurama as well. But yeah, that's been my list of worst Hokages. If you, I guess, disagree, or if you have any, I guess, tutorials, or just want to just change my mind, sure, comment, whatever you want to do. I don't care. Please like and subscribe. This has been Brokashi here, doing a review on Vanilla World's Hokage discussion. Peace.